Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my recap with The View today. They began discussing the Senate GOP and they voted down the bill that would help control the border, right? And so, as you guys know, I love this show. I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I always vote, I'm registered independent. And so, this was a bipartisan bill, I feel like made everyone happy, right? But unfortunately, the Republicans are, for whatever reason, they're so partisan that they decided to not vote on it or not approve it because they want Donald Trump to come in and kind of save the day. So I want to let you guys hear Alyssa, who is the only Republican at the table. As you guys know, Whoopi, Joy, and Sunny are registered Democrats, and then Sarah is an independent. But I want to hear Alyssa's take because I agree with what she says. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Honestly, partisan politics on display in the stupidest way. It's embarrassing for Republicans.
Yeah.
Joe Biden came around to the fact there's a crisis at the border. We don't have to agree on the solutions, but this is objectively a very strong bill. It would deal with asylum. It would deal with border security. It would get us more CBP, Border Patrol officers. This is something I couldn't have even dreamt up 5 years ago. Democrats compromised quite a bit.
Yeah.
And now House Republicans at Donald Trump's direction are tanking it because he wants to be able to run on solving it. I hope that
Tell me what he
Biden,
wants to, why he's doing that.
because he wants Biden to look weak. He wants the problem to continue, and then he can come and say, "I alone can fix it" in January.
He didn't fix it in
next year.
4 years. He didn't even build the
But,
wall.
by the way, Republicans in the House deserve to lose for this. They shouldn't hold on to their seats. You don't get to say there's a crisis and do absolutely nothing about it.
This is a highly conservative bill. I mean, Langford.
Yeah. Okay. So I agree with Alyssa. I agree with Sarah. I agree with Sunny, right? So we have to move past, ego. That's the only thing I could think of, right? Because essentially, I really would love if our Congress could come together and work with each other. And I'm not trying to be, I don't know, have a youthful naivete or, think that Congress is some utopian, legislative body. But this is serious. I hate the razor wire at the border of Texas. I hate the fact that, so many people are being harmed. I don't like the fact that, there's open borders and that people are trafficking, children and things like that. Like these are serious issues. And so the Democrats did a really good job, coming together, bringing forth a bill, like Alyssa said, that she couldn't even have dreamt of 5 years ago. The fact that Donald Trump, wants to come in and save the day on the cavalry. Donald Trump has a lot to worry about. You know what I mean? With E. Jean Carroll, her winning that $83.3 million lawsuit, the 91 indictments. Those are things those are much more pressing issues, right? And I feel like I agree again with Alyssa saying that House Republicans should lose their seats over this. You can't complain about a problem for so long, and that's what they've been running on, grievance politics for so long. And then the Democrats are saying, okay, we're gonna, compromise, we're gonna come up with this bill. We just, need you to meet us where we are. And then the Republicans are saying, oh, no, on second thought, we're going to wait for Donald Trump. I'm like, oh my goodness, it is. It's so frustrating. I can hear the frustration from all the ladies. And I agree with their frustration. And speaking of frustration, so Christie, oh my goodness, former governor of New Jersey. And you guys know that he's run repeatedly and lost, trying to be the Republican nominee. He recently dropped out. But he was basically saying to George Stephanopoulos that he feels like Joe Biden is too old, that he needs to step down, and that he has made it past his, sell-by date, which is extremely ageist, right? And Christie, again, I don't like to shame people over any kind of physical characteristics, whether it's age, whether it's whatever demographic, right? But I need Christie to take a really long, hard look in the mirror. He should not be talking about anyone's looks. He should not be talking about anyone's looks, right? because, you know, I'm just going to leave it there. Okay. I feel like Joe Biden is not going to step aside. He's been waiting for this his entire life. Joe Biden has served in the Senate for, I want to say, 40 or more years, right? And then he was the vice president to Barack Obama. So it only makes sense that now that he's president, he's not going to just, step aside because I'm the oldest president elected in our nation's history, which is true. It was Donald Trump until Joe Biden, took that spot. But I'm so frustrated because Christie, if he's saying that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, and the fact that Donald Trump did say on day one that he wanted to be a dictator, which is extremely scary. I don't think that he's joking. He loves, Kim Jong-un. He loves Vladimir Putin. If Christie really champions American democracy like he says he does, then he should want to back the only candidate that actually stands for American democracy, and that's Joe Biden at this time. Okay, so moving on to Felicity Huffman. She talks about how after her Varsity Blues scandal, where you guys remember, she essentially paid to get her daughter into college, and her daughter was hurt by that because her daughter didn't know that her mom believed so little in her academic ability that she kind of tried to, backdoor her way into her college. And then Felicity Huffman went to prison for 11 days, and she says that she paid a fine and did community service. She says now it's really hard for her to find work, and that's unfortunate. Her husband still works, and he's an actor as well. But I feel like the ladies are talking about whether or not someone should be able to come back into society, and they should, right? We all make mistakes. I feel like if Felicity and Lori from Full House, I forget her last name, but if they would have just donated money to the universities for a library or a wing of whatever, building, that's what most wealthy people do. Their kids would have been shoo-ins. I don't know why they hired this coach and did it the illegal way, but or just hire their kids tutors, they would have accepted them. But yeah, she should. And I agree with Sunny. I feel like felons, once they have served their time, they should be able to come back and vote and participate as full citizens of American democracy, of the country that they were born and raised in. Okay, moving on. Last story, King Charles in Britain. He has been recently diagnosed with cancer, which is heartbreaking. But he, of course, wants to reconcile with his son, Harry, which I'm really glad, because they did him so dirty. And I don't know if it's just because he married Meghan Markle. Even before he was dating Meghan, Harry would shop at the British version of the TJ Maxx, and he had literal holes on the sole of his shoes. This is the Prince of England we're talking about. Why would Prince Harry have holes in his shoes and be shopping at discount stores? So I think it goes way beyond him marrying a woman who is, half Black, mixed race. But, Meghan got her prince and she got out of there and came on home. So I'm here for it. But I'm glad that he, has flown back and wanted to visit his father, because word on the curb is William is only an hour away and he has not visited his father, and his wife is in the hospital, and he was only there for 15 minutes. So I'm not really sure what William is doing, but I'm glad to see that, Harry flew across the pond to visit his sick father. And I hope that, he gets well soon, because I know he is in his 70s. So, but he's in really good hands, right? He's the king of England. So I'm sure he's getting the best medical care that the UK can offer. But yeah, those are the stories. I think I really enjoyed this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys think about this week, this day, The View, everybody's commentary? Like I said, I agreed with Alyssa and all the ladies, really, right? We have to protect democracy because it's really fragile. So I think it's much more fragile than we realize. You know, a lot of times we take it for granted, but America is a very young country. We've only been here, you know, what, 200 and something years. So anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts. I hope that you enjoyed the recap. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.